Welcome to the 5th episode of my Secret of Evermore strategy guide, where I still show you how to find all the secrets of Evermore. This time we will fight a very tough boss battle, retrieve a long lost weapon with a lot of bang for your buck, and go to places where no man has gone before. Not really. Hey, my name is Tobi and this is Tobi Continued. Okay, now everyone knows that the best way to start an episode is with a good old sewer level, so here we are. Thankfully it's rather short and there's no actual sewage flowing through the pipes. There are two hidden areas and the first one is at this crossroad where you can go down into the left wall and find 3 chests with ethanol, water and acorns. Go left afterwards and follow the path, which is the shortest way to the next hidden area with some pixie dust and ash. Go north and you will soon be out of the sewers and in the dungeon of Ebon Keep. This place is similar to the Ivor Tower dungeon, but the big wooden door in the middle is locked and you have to find another way out. Opening the prison gates releases the inmates, which you have to fight, and one enemy is again a late game guard robot, so you should be careful. Usually the last prison gate that you open leads directly into the town, but there's also a bug in this area that can prevent you from progressing further. If the last gate that you open is the one left of the wooden door, which was your personal prison cell in Ivor Tower, the game bugs out and you won't be able to exit the dungeon. Funny enough, this way you will actually find 2 bugs. The one that prevents you from continuing the game and an actual bug inside the cell that bites you for some damage. Makes me wonder if that was on purpose or not. Anyway, just make sure you open this cell first, otherwise you might have to reset the game. You will find yourself in the town of Ebon Keep, but most of the houses are blocked and you cannot access them for now. Inside the inn, however, you will find Cecil from Final Fantasy IV, who finally settled down and is now selling the best armor in Gothica. And you actually have to buy from him to get it. By the way, did you ever wonder what happened to the bazooka that you lost in the beginning of the game? Cecil found it on his adventures and he gives it to you for free if you buy anything. However, he will only give you 1 thunderbolt shot with it, but if you buy nothing for now, you get the bazooka with more ammunition soon afterwards, but you have to defeat the next boss without any of his nice armor. So the decision is up to you. The last house before the castle has a hidden entrance in the back with an alchemy lady who gives you the regrowth formula. Then you can go inside the castle and fight the Verminator. This is probably the hardest boss fight in the entire game. You can only damage him with ranged attacks, so I hope at least one of your spears is leveled up to perform charge 2 attacks, otherwise you will have to completely rely on alchemy. But the real problem is that the boss has some very strong spells himself and he frequently uses them, so regular heals are mandatory to survive long enough. Ideally you still have some call beats and can use Horus's aura magic at least 3 or 4 times to completely negate his hard-hitting spells. If you bought some armor from Cecil earlier, you can use that 1 bazooka shot that he gave you, but the damage it does is only minor compared to the boss's health pool of over 3000 hit points. Bombarding him with your best formulas is the fastest way to a win, so keep on spamming. After finally beating the rat, you will get the bazooka if you do not already have it, along with 10 thunderbolt shots, which is 10 times more than the 1 shot you get from Cecil. If you have the bazooka, you get the shining armor instead, so I kind of lied to you when I said you have to buy this armor from Cecil. To be fair though, I would highly recommend to just buy all the armor except the collar and get the bazooka right away, because if you have both items while defeating the boss, you get a hefty stash of 5000 gold coins and you will soon be able to buy bazooka shots anyways. And just for the record, apparently you can skip this boss by making it to the town of Ebon Keep, but not going to the castle from there. Instead, you can backtrack all the way through the dungeon, sewer and dark forest to the chessboard, at which point the drawbridge to Ivor Tower will be gone, but the one leading to Ebon Keep in the east will be open. So you can also enter the castle from here. However, I do not know why anybody would make this trip except to listen to the sweet Dungeons & Dragons Warriors of the Eternal Sun soundtrack again that I used in my last video while fast forwarding through the forest. Only this time you would kind of have to play it in reverse. So yeah, that's your fill of useless trivia for this episode. But do you know what is not useless? Liking the video and subscribing to my channel for more tips and tricks on video games. Anyway, after talking to Camellia, the real queen of Gothica and former librarian in Podunk, check the west wing of the castle for some items and talk to Neris, who is the self-proclaimed smartest boy in the hood. He is constantly working on a formula to alter his age, so you will see him either as a young boy or as an old man. He offers a small game where you have to guess the number of marbles in his hands, and if you guess right, he will teach you the super heal spell. If you guess wrong, you just have to wait a couple of minutes before you can try again, so I would always pay him a visit when you are nearby. After talking to Tinker east of the Queen's Womb, loot the Night Basher from his chest and get the slow burn and explosion formulas from his laboratory. On your way out of the castle, go down the stairs that are south of the place where you fought the Verminator for some additional items, which I forgot to mention earlier. Then go into town and enter the dungeon again through the secret entrance that you came out earlier and make your way back through the sewers. You can use your newly found axe to destroy the barricades and take some shortcuts, just stick to the northeast whenever you can. Destroy the huge barricade between the sewers and the forest and proceed north. Gomis Garbage Tower actually consists of 3 towers that are connected by some crappy bridges, and there is no straight path to the top. Instead, you have to go back on some occasions to fall through hidden trapdoors and find a way higher up. This place also has some locations where you can find feathers, which is a very expensive ingredient, so make sure to follow your dog's nose whenever he picks up a scent. Go along the initial path until you have to make a decision to go further up or over a small bridge. Take the stairs first to find some ingredient spots, then go back over the bridge and get the chest at the end. Go back a couple of steps to fall through the first trapdoor. From here, follow the path again until reaching another chest, then go back to fall through another trapdoor, bringing you back to the beginning of the towers. Go left again over the 2 larger bridges, and before taking the first stairs up, go back a couple of steps to fall through another trapdoor. By the way, you can skip the area behind and directly fall down the first time you reach this spot if you don't want the items. Go down and make your way to the middle tower and into the door, which takes you to a much higher area. If you don't mind missing some more ingredients, go up from here to get straight to the boss, otherwise go down and don't immediately use the small bridge to your left. Go further down to find a chest, then go back over the bridge to get another chest with some feathers. On your way back, you might have guessed it, the bridge collapses and you have to walk back to the door at the bottom and go upstairs to fight Sterling, Gomi's stupid pet dragon. This fight is super annoying because the scaly bastard constantly throws the nerd off the platform, so your time window to damage him is rather short, and in addition, he attacks you with fireball spells while you have to walk back up. And he probably also laughs at you at the same time. If you want to make this fight much easier, control the dog instead, because Sterling for some reason will not touch your furry companion. I don't know, maybe he's allergic to dog hairs. Be careful though, the nerd still takes damage while he is off screen, but you can always access his spells with the X button to cast healing formulas. Use strong charge attacks from your dog and occasional land spells when the nerd reaches the platform to defeat the dumb lizard. Gomi then teaches you the lightning storm formula, and Sterling will transport you over to Ivor Tower to finally deal with the false queen. So in the end, he's likely not allergic to dog hairs. Go through the Ivor Tower sewers and into the castle, then visit the place where you saw the puppet show. The false queen appears on a balcony and incites Mungola to fight you, but first you have to kill the two puppets Old Nick and Mephisto twice before Mungola appears from behind the bookshelf. The puppets will continue to respawn once they are both dead, so it's a good idea to kill one and ignore the other. The damage you receive is not that high, but Mungola himself has 5000 hit points. Every puppet that you defeat gives you 1000 experience and 250 gold, so you can actually farm here if you do not run out of healing. But the puppets' HP increase every time they respawn, so farming quickly becomes inefficient. Once Mungola is defeated, the fake queen will make a desperate attempt to crush you under her royal body, destroying the castle's foundation and causing the whole area to collapse. By the way, look at her elegant posture. That's how you fall as a queen. The king then rewards you with another 10,000 gold coins, and at this point you should be kinda rich, so move your golden ass back over to the chessboard and into Ebon Keep, where the whole town is now repopulated and you can therefore finally loot all the houses. Down at the market, a merchant is selling thunderbolts for the bazooka, so buy a whole stack with your well-earned cash. Then visit Tinker in his laboratory to get access to the Windwalker, which finally enables you to go to earlier places. To finish the rocket that will fly you to the space station, you need to get some items from Prehistoria and Antica. First, land at the spot next to Fire Ice Village and go into the East Jungle. If you want to level up some of your weapons, now is a good time because you will one-shot the enemies even with under 50% of your weapon power. And since the weapon level system is based on the amount of enemies you killed, you can quickly rank up some levels. When you are done, go to Fire Ice to get some info on the parts that you need from the exploded volcano machine, which caused the volcano to erupt. Then visit Strongheart before doing anything else, as he will give you the miracle cure and the spot collar when you talk to him as the dog. Just like the good old times. Go into the bug mug and make your way through the bug cave. Now, do you still remember the path over the collapsing bridges from my first video? At the end, you face an upgraded version of Thrax, the game's first boss. Therefore, this fight plays out similar, but there are no maggot spawns. Either barrage the heart directly with spells or use charge 2 attacks, or maybe try out the bazooka for some big range damage. I don't know, just kill him. Destroying the cocoon gives you your first rocket part, and you get some additional talents to buy ingredients. Stock up at the Acid Rain Alchemist, then fly over to the swamp area and go to the Volcano Witch. Now, did you ever wonder what's inside that one pot at the right side of the witch that you couldn't reach when you were here for the first time? Use the steam platforms again to fly up to the volcano peak, which you fortunately miss, and find out. It's the next rocket part, everybody! So yeah, apparently it was already here even before the volcano machine exploded, which makes no sense. But anyway, that's all for Prehistoria, time to revisit Antica. Land in Nobilia first and go to the palace. There are lots of lootable spots in the entrance area, plus you can enter the West Fountain and find 2500 gold coins by navigating through the water maze. Talking to Horus gives you a clue where to find the diamond eyes, and in addition he gives you the barrier spell. Now fly to Crustacea and first visit the cave alchemist at the river to get the double drain. Make sure you have the levitate spell equipped and can cast it at least once. Then make your way to the pyramid and enter the cave in the dried out river. Cast levitate on the rock near the entrance teleporter and step on the other two platforms simultaneously to open the middle gate. The left and right gates lead to some items, but they are not crucial. If you just want to get through here, take the middle gate, which immediately starts the fight against Tiny. Now, this fight has two important aspects. First, it sucks, because you have to randomly go through teleporters until at some point you reach Tiny's platform, all while he is constantly throwing Orglins at you. I don't know if this is luck based or not. My first attempt lasted for roughly 15 minutes, while my second attempt was over in just about 1. I think the best way to handle this fight is just going straight back into the teleporter that you appeared from over and over. Who knows, it's stupid anyways. And second, you can farm the shit out of this fight. Just set your dog to aggressive, make him use charge 1 attacks and let him one-shot the Orglins. Tiny will throw an infinite amount at you and each one gives around 100 experience and 100 jewels. They will almost do no damage and every level up that you earn this way brings you back to maximum hit points, so it's totally safe to go AFK. I was able to easily earn 20,000 experience and jewels in under 30 minutes this way, so in the meantime you can do something else. Like watching my other videos where, for example, I show you some nice things you can do in Lufia 2. Anyway, after reaching Tiny's platform, he will chicken out and hand over the diamond eyes without further trouble. So I guess his muscles really are just for show, in contrast to mine. With all the items you can now go back to Tinka, who boldly shoots you to places where no man has gone before. Well, not really, but at least the landing is 100% safe and calculated. And that's it for this episode. Next time we will obviously explore the space station, get the best items in the game and finally uncover the mastermind behind all our problems on Evermore. As if that's even a surprise anymore. Thank you all for watching and please leave a like if this was helpful or if you just enjoyed the show. Or both. Also consider subscribing to my channel for more tips and tricks on video games. And always remember that this is Tobi Continued.